Time. Hello everyone and welcome to Project Morana episode 11. We've made it past the halfway point and I think we're still all alive.
Whoa.
Maybe. Today our audio might be a little
years.
different because we're doing stuff a little differently today because I was going to call you Nate, but your name's not Nate. Jeremy is coming to us from the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. I still can't believe you have internet right now. That's boggling me.
Yeah,
We should all do this.
I can't believe it either, frankly.
We're all on a boat.
Oh, is that the secret, that we're all actually just on a boat? That could be it. All right, well.
Lake Morana.
We are all a boat. We are boat.
We are.
For those of you who've watched Roll4It for a long time, I'm a boat. You'll like that. For those of you who haven't, you should go watch Cheese Quest because it's an adorable adventure of mice who are on a quest to find cheese, and that line is hilarious. In context. But with that, we will, before we get things started, because we're going back into 2023, if you can't tell how we're dressed, present day Project Morana. But we do have some things that we need to talk about. First and foremost, we would like to thank our sponsor today. Thank you, Roll20, for sponsoring today's episode. And if you're curious how we do our rolls, which makes, I need to make some rolls, because we had lots of chat going on in the chat. You can do that all through Roll20, which is super handy for any of you that have played Call of Cthulhu. There's like different types of rolls that you have to do, like regular, hard, extreme, verbose, and it just makes it so much easier. Also, it can track all of the things that you need in it. You can make custom sheets. You don't have to just do dice games. You can do card games, all kinds of stuff. So it's super duper handy. If you watched our Cyberpunk game from Caper Cyberpunk from Nerdburger Craig, you would have seen how you can do cards as well, which is super cool. So yeah, highly, highly recommend checking out Roll20. And we have handy dandy links down below if you need them. Beyond that, we do have some merch and we are working on some Chip Cult merch, so prepare yourself for that. But in the meantime, you can head over to designbyhumans.com/shop/roll4 and get yourself a mug or a sweater, because it is that season. It's sweater weather. So get yourself a sweater. And of course, we would like to trigger warning remind you that we will cover some weird things like meat spirals and stuff. So if that freaks you out at any point, you are welcome to step away. We totally understand. So do what is best for you. We would like Kelly to scare the crap out of us, so we're all in. We have very few lines and veils, I feel like, for this show. We understand not everybody has the same lines and veils. Beyond that, we would like to thank our supporter today. I feel like I always have to do this one with Thunder Cabbage.
Whoa.
I know, I always like doing that.
Thunder.
Thunder Cabbage, thank you for supporting today's episode. And if you would like to become a supporter like Thunder Cabbage, you can head on over to our Patreon, where not only would you become a supporter if you're legendary and above, but you'd also get to play in a privately GM'd game, which we have another one coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. And of course, there's also the Christmas one. So, it's going to be fun.
The Christmas one?
I know.
My goodness.
Wow.
Char got to be part of that one recently.
It was so fun.
We'll definitely have to have some other folks on. Basically, for the Christmas one, we always have new people who have never played before. So, because we don't want to spoil the mystery of the chaos. But we do have a Halloween RPG one that's coming up. I can't announce that quite yet, but I will be soon. So stay tuned for that. Because as you know, we left off with someone going into a different land. So it makes sense. It is going to be coming a little late. We apologize for that. Scheduling stuff did not work out the way we had intended. But you know what? It's still going to happen. So that's all that matters. Beyond that, we have a whole bunch of other awesome goodies over on Patreon, like our character sheets. There's a map that our wonderful keeper made. Kelly did such a good job. I think you said you maybe messed up where some of the stuff was.
Yeah. I'll
So maybe
update
in the
it. It'll make
updated
more
map,
sense.
things might get moved, like a demolition happened in between. But just fair warning about that. I apologize. The vacuum's going crazy. I did tell my fiance to turn it off, but apparently he just turned it on, and even worse. I don't know.
It's the sound of the storm outside.
It's really loud. I think he's running to turn it off. I think it's like, because it goes back to its home and it cleans itself, but I think it gets really loud when it goes back to the home.
It's a robot.
Yeah, it's a little robot. But we have all kinds of other goodies over there, so definitely check that out. And we will have an after show that we're going to record after the show, which is always where all the juicy things come. And sometimes we tell you stuff that, you know, you're not supposed to know. And one time I think Kelly made us all take our helmets. I said helmets. Our headphones off.
Safety first.
So we couldn't hear what they were saying, but now I'm curious what it was. But for our Patreons, they know something we don't even know. And also you can become a Twitch sub if you're watching here live on Twitch. Even if you're not watching live on Twitch, if you want to subscribe to us, you can head on over to Twitch. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can also use your Amazon Prime to subscribe to us. Otherwise, your money just goes to Jeff Bezos. So, you know, decide how you want your money to go. You get access to emotes as well as the VODs in advance. And if you head on over to YouTube and become a YouTube member, you can get access to some of those emotes as well. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter, you can get access to our private Discord where people ask us many questions, and it is always very interesting. And we're usually pretty good about answering stuff. Sometimes we're like, I can't share that. Or we give troll answers, which is also fun. I think one time for like 4 episodes, Bentham went along with his character being something that it wasn't, and it was hilarious because people all thought his characters was something that it wasn't. And then later they found out like what was really going on. It was pretty clutch. But also there's lots of non-monetary ways to support us. We know not everyone can support us with money. Money is nice because that allows us to pay our cast, which is super, super duper helpful. And it's one of the ways that we keep, you know, everybody being able to sustain their lifestyles and eat food and feed our cats. So, you know, if you want cats to be fed, you know, but we understand you need to feed your cats first. So if that's a thing, there are lots of non-monetary ways to support us, like watching us live here on Twitch, making clips. Thank you so much for the clips. They help us so much. And also watching on YouTube, subscribing, liking, commenting, following us on X and Facebook, liking, sharing, resharing, and commenting. All of those things help us. Even if you don't have a ton of followers, it doesn't really matter. It's about making the algorithms find us. And with that, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let Kelly take it away so we can go on a fun, scary adventure.
Ooh.
Ooh, should I make scary music?
I mean, maybe.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I'll find
basically
something in
picking up-
between that. How about?
Yeah, the in-between music. The date is Thursday, January 5th, 2023. The time is 10 p.m. We are in the living room of Nova Hogan and Oliver Kane. The tasteful Instagram-inspired white, blue, and wood aesthetic has been marred by the efforts of Nate and Laura to wake an unconscious Marie lying on the sofa. The ground is littered with their attempts to rouse her as Nate painfully limps his recently broken foot through the mess, and Laura scours Marie's phone looking for any reason for the sudden catatonia. Across from all of this chaos, sitting in a low-back minimalist lounge chair, is Dr. Samuel Marcelli, staring in silence. Laura, you've been combing the pictures of Benjamin's notes, of which there were way more than Marie had mentioned. You realize for good reason, as most of them are inconsequential. During the majority of his time in Lake Morana, Benjamin had lived in and out of the clinic, but little progress had been made on his development. You see notes on regular checkups, frequent battles with the flu, months spent in bed with flare-ups of his original symptoms, but other than being relatively weak and immunocompromised, he survived. It wasn't until December of last year that he got too sick. His condition worsened rapidly, and despite Dr. Marcelli's note, Benjamin might finally die, maybe then I can move on, It appears as if he never compromised Benjamin's medical care. He just lost an ongoing 20-year battle. Can you roll spot hidden for me?
I can. 42 versus 45 success.
Ooh. You hyper focus on these notes for several minutes. You don't notice anything that may have caused Marie to go unconscious, but you do notice a pattern. Benjamin often gets sick during the winter, a not uncommon thing for people at risk. But when that would happen, he would always get better on March 20th, starting even with the first time he was brought in.
I'm just sitting on the floor next to Marie, scrolling through the phone. Nate.
Yeah.
This is weird. So every time that Ben got sick, it's always winter. But what I'm not understanding is he starts to get better in the spring, but every time it's March 20th. Every March 20th, he starts to feel better. Does that make sense to you?
The first part, he gets... Well, the thing about the winter, that could just be like allergies or, maybe, I don't know, like flu season or something. But the March 20th always?
Yeah, and I'm going to hold the phone up and just I probably have several examples that I'm just scrolling and I'll point and I'll scroll and I'll point at the dates. I thought I was losing my mind or reading the same note over and over again. It's weird.
That's weird. It's like clockwork. Storyteller, could I please maybe roll a check to see if I can remember anything significant about the date of March 20th, specifically in pertaining to Benjamin?
Give me a history roll.
All right. I got a strong 5.
You got this.
Come on. Come on.
Ooh.
Oh no. We are spending luck on that. We are
That was so close. Hold on, I need to put that on the screen.
7 versus 5.
7 versus 5. That is
yeah,
crazy.
I'm spending 2 luck. I'm
How
absolutely
do you keep
spending
doing
2
that,
luck to turn that
Jeremy?
into a success.
You have these low numbers and you still keep somehow hitting them. I don't.
You know that March 20th is the end of winter. It's the first day of spring. And remembering that, you both remember that spring was actually Benjamin's favorite season.
I mean,
I'll mention all of that to you then.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Laura,
it.
you would remember that.
Yeah. I guess, okay, now that I'm looking at it a little closer, it's not every winter that he'd get sick, but he always got better in March. I know, he loved spring.
Yeah, it was his favorite season. I'm wondering, could it be that the fact that it's the last day, the fact that March 20th is the last day of winter, I think there's something about, it's got to be something about the winter, right? Maybe spring was his favorite season because maybe he'd always been getting sick like that, and that was just when things got better.
When Nate says that, can I think back to college and see if I notice a pattern when we knew Ben in college of him getting sick or anything or something happening in the springtime?
I won't even make you roll, because you only knew him for one winter, and he seemed perfectly healthy, if a little lower mood. Not normally when you were around, though.
Okay. He was never like this in college. I don't know. It's weird. Well, I mean, the same day every time he got sick. I mean, that's just not. You can't. There's a coincidence, and then there's a pattern.
Yeah, it's okay. The getting sick in the winter, like I said, that's fine. But it's the March 20th. There's something going on here.
96 degrees.
Samuel, Dr. Sam.
96. Check her temperature. Do we have?
Do you have a thermometer? I don't. And I'm gonna get up and start rifling through Nova's bathroom, just looking for a first aid kit of some kind.
You don't find a first aid kit, but you do find one of those digital thermometers.
Will this work?
Yeah. And he takes it and he checks and he waits for a while. 96 degrees. 98.5. She's normal. She's warming up.
She doesn't have a fever?
No, it was never a fever with Ben. It was his core temp was lower. Nate, check her eyes again.
I'll slide her eyes open. Can I check her pulse as I look at her eyes?
Yeah, her pulse seems fine. And as you check her eyes, shining a light, they're not responsive, which is what they have been. They haven't been responsive this whole time. That's normal.
Is that? I don't know if you. I don't have personally the medical knowledge for this, but I feel like Nate would, just from having to worked in first aid. Are there any signs here that would be consistent with a concussion? Because that's something that would happen. That's a lot more likely to happen, like with hockey, and I think Nate would understand how to treat that, or at least how to basically treat that, or at least what the signs were.
Yes. Does she drink?
Oh, this seems like a concussion.
You recognize symptom, like some of these are similar. Does she drink?
All right, then I'm going to tell this. I'm going to tell this, to Dr. It's Dr. Samuel says she should drink.
Does she drink?
Yes, I
actually don't know. I haven't really been around her.
She was at the inn thing we were staying at, Tilly's.
Is she on any kind of medication? Any blood thinners?
I don't know that. I can look through Marie's purse and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, do that. Did she hit her head recently? Did anyone see if maybe Nova hit her, or she fell or anything?
No, I would not have let Nova hit her. And I'm going to start rifling through Marie's bag, looking for any prescription bottles or anything that might be a blood thinner.
Marie, other than Andy's medication, is there any other medication in there?
Being an excellent mother, Marie would also have, some ibuprofen in there, but no, nothing else.
I would notice that the prescriptions are for Andy, because I probably checked to see the names on them. I guess I'd pull them out. I mean, I probably wouldn't hide it.
Yeah, they're the ones that Nate's been taking, the pain medication.
Okay. Yeah, there's ibuprofen. There's some of Andy's old meds. There's nothing for Marie. I know aspirin and well, I don't know if ibuprofen. Aspirin's sometimes people with strokes take that for preventative.
No,
but this
none
is
of that.
ibuprofen.
Well, if she took enough ibuprofen, and she didn't hit her head.
I mean, she was out in the snow without us for a while, but she seemed fine when we found her.
Before that, though, nothing. I'm trying to.
No, Nate, do you remember her
maybe she
hitting
fell
her?
and hit her head while she was out? No, I didn't see her do it before she went out. Maybe she hit her head while she was out. I don't see a bump, but I can check under her hair.
Yeah, see if there's maybe she hit the back of her head.
Feeling under her hair?
Yeah. As you start feeling her through her hair, you actually find dried blood flakes. And a wound on her head underneath, near the top of her forehead, underneath her hair.
Can I? Yeah, I'll report that. Does it seem like it was like potentially today or within the last few hours that this wound occurred?
Oh.
Give me a first aid.
All right. Come on, coach. Spending luck.
Jesus.
Spending too luck.
You're
52
like
versus
so
50.
close.
Spending too luck on that.
I think as you're doing that, I would be like, oh shit. I picked Carl and Marie up. They were sitting in the car on the side of the road. They got into an accident. I think
He
Marie said
puts his hand on his face and like pulls his glasses down and starts rubbing
Listen,
the bridge of his nose.
a lot has happened. All right. Like Marie said that there was she had a dream or something. She
All
yeah,
right.
she did hit her head.
Then, if my guess is right, we don't have a lot of time. But I might have to give her a burr hole.
Excuse me?
And we're going to cut away.
What did he say? He's gonna give her a what?
A burr hole.
A burr hole?
What the hell's a burr hole?
Oh,
Take
no.
pressure off the brain, right?
That's
They
got to be
drill a
some kind of
hole.
swelling in the brain situation. Yeah.
The date is Friday, January 6th, 2023. The time is 3:47 a.m. Carl, in the passenger seat of the police truck, you just pull up to the station. It is a small one-story brick building with white trim and a pointed entrance. And you can see through the like entrance windows a very small dark blue and wood entrance room. It seems that the lights are still on. And Elias turns off the engine and just sort of like rubs his head. All right. I think Riley should be coming. We're going to get the mayor inside and we're going to deal with this, okay?
We?
Yeah. You're the only help I have right now.
What do you want
I know
me to
it's
do?
late. Just take care of her for the time being, all right? And he's going to open the door, step out into the snow, and grab the mare and sort of like pick her up in both his arms so she doesn't have to walk through the snow, and begins walking inside and looks back at you and sort of like gestures for you to follow.
Carl kind of stands there for a moment, confused. And then we'll get out, or then shut the door on the side that they're on and follow.
You can see him like struggling to pull the door open, and he sort of like backs up to get you.
Did
to
we just
open
leave
it.
the sack of things in the car?
It's cold enough. One thing at a time, okay?
I was out of character asking that, but that's
yes, you did.
fine. Okay. Carl will look back. Is there anything else that seems out of place here when I'm looking around?
Give me a spot hidden.
Okay. 84 out of 70 fail.
The surrounding area looks like more residential buildings. Some of them are boarded over. Some of them look like they just haven't been used in a while. But all of their lights along the street are off. The police station faces diagonally to the corner of the street and then sort of juts in deeper into the cross. But staring out into the night, it's hard to see anything through the storm. It just looks like you're in front of the police station right now.
Okay. Carl will snap back and start helping him open the door if I see him struggling with the door. I think that's what makes Carl turn back around.
And as you open it, he leads the mare in. You see inside, the floor is black tile linoleum. There's a small receptionist desk with an older looking computer and a notepad and rows of seats along the side wall. In the back of the room, you can see two gray desks with dividers between them. And Elias leads the way, putting Marine on one of the chairs in sort of the waiting area, and scratches his head and looks over at you and says, I'm going to go see if I can get her some clothes. Do you want to examine her or something, see if she's all right?
Carl looks uncomfortable and sees Mayor like naked, wearing just his jacket, and is like, yeah, sure. And we'll head over towards her.
All right. He sort of walks back deeper into the station, and you can hear him like breathing heavily as he walks away, seemingly very distraught. Looking back at Maureen, she is shivering and frightened, and you can see like frozen tears down the front of her eyes, but she has stopped screaming and is seemed to be like trying to hold herself together more.
Carl will kind of walk over to her slowly and just say, look, I just need to check to make sure you're all okay.
Yeah, all right.
And he will take a look at her, see if
Roll
anything
a
seems
medicine.
off. All right. Today's not my day. 80 out of 41.
You can try to push it if you
That's
want.
what I was going to say. Could I try to push it? And I think by pushing it, I think Carl slides the jacket off a little bit to get a better look. not trying to check her out, but just trying to examine to make sure, like, hey, maybe it's not her head or her legs. Maybe it's she has some kind of cut or something somewhere else.
Go for it.
And that's just, I click it again.
Yep.
Oh, God.
And then we're left with the consequences.
Oh, 13 out of 41. Hard success. That's what we want. Yeah.
Your initial assessment is tough because she's basically like bundled herself up underneath your coat and is like in a ball on this chair. And as you like slowly take the coat aside, she doesn't protest, but you can see that she's like cold. You see that her fingers have turned black on the tips. Her dark skin sort of like turns purple as it gets to about her knuckles, and then by the time it's at the tip, it is black. And you see similar frostbite on her feet, basically to the point that you don't know if saving them is going to be an option.
Oh.
She also is extremely cold. Her like body temperature is quite low, and she runs a risk of hypothermia.
Do I see any other blankets or jackets or coat, like maybe like a police officer has their coat hanging somewhere or anything around?
Nothing hanging, but you could certainly look around if you want.
Yeah, I think Carl will put the jacket back over her and say, sorry, I know you're cold. I just had to check.
Understand.
I'm gonna go look for something else to keep you warm. Just stay bundled up.
All right.
And Carl will look around for...
All right. As you go behind the desk, you can actually hear down the hallway loud retching as Elias is throwing up somewhere within the station. looking around, the actual reception desk is Spartan. There is a notebook and pen. You can see like the old computer that's for, taking notes and stuff like that. But you get the impression that nobody is actually dedicated works as a receptionist, that it's probably one of the officers. Going behind towards the two desks, you actually see that there is a obscured corner that you couldn't see from entering, with a large radio sitting on top of a table, as well as like alternate like equipment to swap it out. And then the two desks obviously belong to Novak and Riley. As you can see, like pictures of Elias with a young Mara and a woman that you haven't seen in a picture frame, as well as like just scattered, unorganized notes and like sticky notes all along the rim of his monitor. And then Riley's desk is like much more organized and everything is filed. And you can actually see that she has a small area heater underneath her desk.
Ooh, Carl's gonna grab that area heater. I think that he also notes that he saw the radio in there. Sorry. And then we'll head on over to the back to the lady and see if like he can find a way to plug it next to the mayor.
Yeah. There's like a couple plugs along the waiting area. So you plug it in and it turns on, and you can see her like trying to get closer to it and put her hands up. And you hear the boot steps of Elias coming back.
Yeah, and I don't think Carl wants to alarm her that she might lose her fingers and toes right now. She just stopped screaming, so let's not make her scream more.
You see that he's taken off his like big police jacket and has just sort of like a gray button up underneath. He's a larger man. He's got a dad bod that has sort of let himself go a bit, not really shaven. Thick like hairy arms, and he's carrying what look like police issued sweatpants and sweater, and sort of like hands it over to you.
And I will hand it over to her very quickly.
And she like slowly starts to get dressed, and you can see that it like is painful for her to put her hands through the sweatshirt. But over time manages, and you can just Elias just seems to be like in shock. Actually, I will note she's unable to get her hands through the sweatshirt because she's still handcuffed.
Yeah. I think when I hand her that, I kind of look over to him and I'm like, she's gonna need to be uncuffed.
He kind of turns to the side away from her. Does she seem like she will be a threat to anyone?
I don't know.
Is she in any condition to, I don't know, go into a state and attack someone?
Anybody could, right? And Carl will kind of pull him aside a little bit and whisper quietly to him. I don't know if she's gonna be able to keep her fingers and toes. That frostbite is bad.
All right. Yeah, I'll let her go. And grabs some keys and walks over and starts undoing the handcuffs. You can tell he's also like not making eye contact with her, and is like sort of just lost in his own mind. Takes the handcuffs and puts them back on his belt. I should probably figure out. I'm going to go out to the truck and deal with the evidence. Stay here, make sure nothing happens. God.
Okay.
And he's going to walk outside.
Carl kind of watches her as she's huddled next to the heater. So, what happened?
It takes a moment for her to react, but she sort of like looks up at you. Her eyes like still bright and shining as they stare back at you. I don't know. I was on the beach and you were there.
What were you doing before you got on the beach?
I was home. I don't remember. I just remember being home and then waking up on the beach.
Do you sleepwalk? Is that like something that's normal for you?
Not since I was a little girl. No. No.
But you did when you were a little girl?
Yes. Only once or twice. It was never... No.
Do I know if the mayor has a significant other? Or was that not really clear?
You were walking around town, so I'll let you roll a history check to see if you maybe picked up any small talk or anything.
All right. Not a high history. 49 out of 50. Nope. Carl's not really interested in small talk, so probably didn't really pay attention.
It's about this time that the front door nearly slams open, and you see there, still wearing her sweatpants, but with her big jacket and clunky boots on over top of it, is Riley. And you can see her eyes are blood red, and as soon as she walks close to you, she reeks of perfume and mouthwash. As she kind of looks and says, "What the fuck was that? What was he looking at?"
Carl will quickly go over to her. I think at first Carl's like freaked out because the door opens, and then as soon as he sees it's Riley, calms down a little bit, and we'll kind of walk over to her and like whisper quietly,
"What the fuck was that, Carl?"
"I don't know. We found her in the middle of the lake. She had this sack of someone's body parts."
Yeah, he's not having a good time out there.
You think I'm having a good time in here? At least she's clothed now. She was naked.
Why are you not home?
That's a question that I would like to ask too. Why am I not home?
All right. Did he question her or anything? Did he take notes? Did he do his goddamn job yet?
None of the above has happened. In fact, I'm the one who was like, "Hey, are you gonna call backup or something?" And then he called you, and he seemed freaked out.
Okay.
Now he wants me to watch her. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Let him play with his sack for a while, and I'll take control of this.
She doesn't seem to remember anything. She said that she used to sleepwalk when she was little. I don't know if she has a significant other. Maybe she still sleepwalks. She just doesn't know it.
She lives by herself.
Well, then, Bear, she might still sleepwalk.
All right, Carl.
You think she murdered somebody?
Settle down. I'm technically in charge here now.
Okay.
I've got this, okay? You can sit down. You seem...
Shouldn't someone like
long
go
night
check
for you.
Where she came from? Like follow her tracks back? They're probably covered in snow now.
It's exactly. So we can only do what we can. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and you can see the like police training sort of kick in as she's like trying to calm you. We can only do as much as we can. Please sit down. You've had a long night. We will take care of this.
All right. Carl, having had to do that to other people before, takes like a deep breath in and is kind of, I think, a relief is like a weight is off of Carl's shoulder as he realizes like someone else is going to do this job and Carl doesn't have to be an investigator anymore. And he will kind of slump down in a chair. But I think if there's an opportunity he will try to make his way to the radio.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. As you sit, she walks over, sort of like in the middle of the waiting area now, and pulls out a flipped notebook and a pen, and goes to a blank page and looks over at you. First, are you all right? Did you get any injuries? Did you, other than, passing out earlier?
Me? No. Yeah, what happened with that? Anyways,
Yeah,
no,
we'll go
but
over that. I just need to make sure that you're stable. You're
no,
okay?
I'm fine. She's got frostbite on her fingers and toes. I don't think we can save those. But I didn't want to freak her out because she was screaming before, and she finally stopped screaming.
It's a good idea. First off, did you see a body?
No, just the parts of the innards of a body.
No, nothing suggesting that maybe she did this, right?
I mean, when I was looking at her fingers looked frostbit, not like dried blood or anything on them.
She looked like she had just been walking through the snow for a few hours.
She just looked like she was walking through the snow for a long time because she was very cold.
Riley's like taking
But
notes this entire time.
She was naked. Like,
All right.
what if she just murdered somebody, cleaned herself off, walked through the snow? I don't know where she's going with the body parts. She was heading to the middle of the lake somewhere.
I've known Maureen Bachman since I was born. I don't think she's really capable of that.
Look, people think that their nice next door neighbor is fine, but in the meantime,
oh no, I mean
they're killing and
physically.
burying
You
people.
saw her at the town hall. That was at her best. And she looks over and
physically,
she's, no
though,
offense,
people
ma'am.
will drug somebody and
Okay. Before we
then just cut them up while they're
before we go
comatose. I
Sherlock,
don't know.
one thing at a time. And she'll sort of like turn to the mayor and like crouch down. Now, Mrs. Bachman, do you remember how you got here? And the mayor will sort of like look up at her and, no, I told him that I just woke up on the beach. All right. Do you remember where you were before waking up? Just at home. Doing anything? Just showering? This late? That kind of like looks at you. Were you guys out? No, fuck, you were with us. Damn. Why were you up so late? And give me a psychology real quick. I will let this roll. This will like help you during the interrogation.
22
Nice.
out of 65, hard success.
You see, as Riley asks why she was up so late, you almost see like a youthful bashfulness cross this woman's face, which is like opposite of how she's sort of been looking this whole time. But Riley continues. Okay, so why you were showering late? And the mayor says, I was enjoying the storm. She's lying.
That doesn't seem like you're telling us the truth.
She looks over and kind of like meekly grimaces, and Riley nods. I agree. Was there anyone else with you, Mrs. Bachman? And the mayor, like looking between you and Riley, just shakes her head. Again, clearly lying.
There was somebody with you, wasn't there?
Listen, Mrs. Bachman, you have to tell us. Maybe they saw something. And Maureen looks over and kind of like closes her eyes. Clifford, was with Clifford Ikeda. He was there. And you see again that sort of like youthful bashfulness. And Riley looks between the two of you. Why? Oh God, were you with Mr. Ikeda?
Yeah, I don't think you want to know why.
And she kind of like shrugs a little bit and smiles. God, is his wife out of town? What the fuck? And she sort of like looks down at the ground and she says, no, she was there too. Riley like looks pained as she looks over at you, Carl.
That's a twist.
I don't.
In the bag, I only saw one person's body parts, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, now
And they
Carl's
were,
got
like,
like this
frozen
idea that
solid
maybe
as well.
the two wives like murdered this guy. I don't know. Carl's going through all kinds of like weird ideas.
Don't think I want to know more.
I
All
do.
right, thank you, Maureen.
Wait.
What?
Where's Clifford and his wife now?
I would assume still at my home. They were asleep when I was taking a shower.
So the last thing you remember was that you were taking a shower?
Yes.
And you don't remember seeing Clifford or his wife?
No, well, I woke up on the beach.
I think Carl's looking at Riley like, she might have murdered one of them.
Riley looks freaked and... All right. What people do during lockdown is none of my business. But we have witnesses, potentially. We could talk to them. We should probably check her house.
Yeah.
She like checks her watch. Oh, it's so late. All right, I'll check her house. Carl, you need to get home. You need to get some rest. This doesn't involve you anymore.
Right. I guess it doesn't, kind of.
Thank you for your help. Do you need a ride back? I feel like Elias is probably done, or he's gonna be busy. I don't think he wants to go out anymore.
Yeah. I should probably head back.
All right.
My mom's probably wondering about me anyway.
All right, I'll drive you back. I'll get Elias back in here.
Hate to ask, but maybe a favor. Kind of really
I
don't
do
want to lose
favors.
my job, and I would love to get a hold of my boss. I saw that you guys have a radio.
We do.
Does it work?
It does. Go for it. I'll get the super cough off your ass for a bit.
Carl kind of tries to make a smile, looks over at Maureen, kind of a little like freaked out by her, but forces a smile. It's like, they're gonna figure out what happened. But if you remember anything, just tell the truth.
She like meekly nods at you, and then just goes back to like huddling around the area heater, trying to warm up. You can see like lack of mobility in the tip of her fingers.
Carl will head over to the radio and try to call their boss.
All right. It turns on and sort of gives the like radio static noise. Do you know how to contact your boss through the radio?
No.
Because I would imagine, so the way that I would imagine it is that your hospital would have an ER that would have a radio, but it would probably only connect to the trucks.
I would be fine with making this a roll of some sort, if you prefer that.
Because what city do you work in again? You work in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
And you are on the north side of the mountains. I'm gonna say that it would be impossible to contact Vancouver over the Rocky Mountains, but give me a spot hidden.
If I could get hold of another hospital. 30 out of 70, hard success.
Perfect.
Ooh, what am I doing today? Something bad's going to happen later in this episode.
You spot basically a like makeshift catalog of frequencies for surrounding cities. And you find one that has been like there's like a little sticky mark next to it that says like still in contact. For one moment, I had this written down. Grand Cache, which you would also remember they mentioned having contacted earlier yesterday. So you can dial into that one.
Yeah, Carl will call into that.
Now give me a luck.
All right, let's do a look.
Oh,
49 out of 68.
Carl, you dial in. What do you say for your broadcast to them?
Do I only get like a certain amount of like words or something like that?
No, the way that this would work is you would send out almost like a mayday or like a communication of like a quick thing of like what you want. And if you don't hear back, you just like keep doing it for a little bit.
Ooh, okay. All right. I think that Carl will message out Carl Wilson reporting from Lake Morana. Snowstorm creating lockdown. Contact Vancouver General Hospital. And that just keeps repeating.
You do that for a while. So much so that you have to like peek over a little bit once in a while to like make sure that Elias isn't coming back in, and you can see through the door Riley like gesturing wildly and looking like she's having an argument with him. But you eventually hear a response. Yeah, this is Grand Cache Mounted RCMP police station. Carl, we read you.
Is it now? Can I just talk back and forth, or is it just like one message? Okay.
Over.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I need to let the Vancouver General Hospital know that I'm stuck here in Lake Morana. There's a snowstorm here. I don't know if you can send any other help.
There's a long delay. Sorry, I was waiting for over. Are you telling me that you are calling an emergency line to inform us that you want us to tell your boss that you are going to be late for work?
More so
over.
Stuck in Lake Morana? There's a snowstorm here. There's someone hurt.
We are aware of the situation at Lake Morana. We are unavailable to send help at this time. Road conditions are low. What is the patient's condition?
Not sure. Probably dead. And the other one is frostbitten.
A longer wait. Listen, Carl, we, as I said, are not able to send out assistance at this time. Do you believe that a culprit is still at large, or is this a accident? Over?
Yes? Culprit is at large? No. No, there's no way this could be an accident.
All right, listen here, Carl. We will attempt to send help. We could radio in Edmonton. I assume that your radios are still unable to reach the city. We will see if a evac helicopter could be sent in, but chances are low with the conditions. Over.
I thought you just said the roads were fine.
She said the conditions were severe or low.
Oh, I thought low. Oh, okay. I thought low meant
Bad.
They're fine.
Not good conditions.
Okay. That's what I was like. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what we're being told. Okay. She meant severe. Okay. Makes sense. We'll do what we can.
Another delay.
Over.
All right. All right. Well, and just make sure that your people are safe, and we'll try to, I don't know. If anything worsens, let us know. I mean, fuck, it's early. I got nothing else to do. I'll call your work and let them know that you're stuck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Maybe get out of that town first thing you can. Over.
Trying. Over.
All right. Well, keep these lines clear until you need anything else. You have a good evening, Carl. Over and out.
You too. Over. And out. I think Carl lets go of it and puts it down. Just looks down. Carl's gonna grab like a Post-it note. And grab the code for that line. And then pocket it.
Easy enough.
And then try to slink out of the room.
As you pass the waiting area, seeing Riley like looking over occasionally to make sure she still has to keep Elias busy, you hear from your right, Carl?
Oh, Marine, is it?
Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you.
For what?
Taking good care of me tonight. I feel like, well, I think things could have gotten a little worse if you weren't there.
I'm not sure what that means, but yeah.
Elias has a bit of a temper, and if what I did is true, I think I probably would have ended up a little worse.
Has he hurt you before?
No, nothing like that.
Has he hurt someone else?
No, he's got quite a mouth.
Does she seem like she's telling the truth when Carl's asking
Give me a psychology.
that? Ooh, 100 out of 65.
A fumble. You completely stop focusing on her because of the next thing that she says.
Oh God.
I have been talked very highly of your father, and I know he would be proud of what you did tonight.
What did he say about my father?
Just that he was a good friend. He always looked out for people he cared about. And, well, I understand he became a pretty good doctor.
Yeah.
Seems like you have too.
Yeah. He did, but he couldn't save himself, I guess. I guess that's why I tried to become a doctor. Maybe I could have done something.
Yeah, we can't save everyone. Just gotta keep moving forward and leading a good life. That's what they would want.
Yeah. I guess I'm still just trying to figure out what that means.
While you're young, you still got time.
Yeah. I guess that's what
Get
people
outta here.
keep saying.
Your mother must be worried.
Yeah. She's probably wondering where I'm at. Or maybe she thinks I'm out partying and having fun. I don't know.
Yeah. And she just sort of like stares off into the distance.
Carl does not want to think about what she's thinking about and will slowly try to make his way towards Riley and the other officer.
You basically catch the tail end of Riley yelling at Elias and says, yeah, well, all right, fuck you too. And you're on witness duty. Try not to berate her or, just look the fuck after her, Elias, and don't throw out the organs. We should probably bring him to Samuel. All right, Carl, let's go. And she like begins walking towards her white police truck.
What's Sam gonna do with them?
He needs to tell us what they're from, what happened to them. I don't know.
What kind of doctor is Sam anyway?
He's a general physician, I think. He worked in the city for a while when he was young. I think he did his residency. I don't know. And like leads you into her truck and starts it up.
Right. Yeah, sure.
All right. Just rest easy.
Would I know if
drives
like
away.
a general physician would know about organs and
Roll me a medical.
medical? Is it different than medicine?
No. I said it
Okay.
differently.
Okay. I was like, is there another one I don't know about? Oh, no. 75 out of 41. That's fine.
Again, I think it's not so much that you wouldn't know, it's that you're still sort of lost in that conversation.
Yeah,
with
that makes
Maureen.
sense. I'm just kind of distraught.
And as the adrenaline begins to wear off of the whole situation, you also realize that you have almost been up for
I'm tired.
maybe 24 hours. The date is Thursday, January 5th, 2023. The time is 10:20 p.m. We are back in Nova and Oliver's living room as Samuel has just had a spark of an idea and looks to the two of you. If my guess is right, and I'm pretty sure it is, she's been bleeding into her brain since the car accident, and we need to relieve some of the pressure.
So you just want to like
How do we
put
do
a
that?
hole?
It's not my first option, but again, if I'm right, we don't have that long. If she's already
It
unconscious,
is the first suggestion you've made, to be fair.
it's not my...
Should we get in the car
Listen,
and go
Nate.
back to the hospital or the doctor's office, whatever you call it?
We're gonna have to do it here. Listen, you need to stay with me, okay? I need to grab some things from the truck, but you need to get some equipment. I'm sure that they'll have it here.
What other options do we have? Do you just have like a burr hole kit in your car?
Huh. Listen. I know that you think I'm a fuck up, and I know that you think that I struggled under pressure, but I assumed that what was happening to your friend was what would happen to your other friend, but it seems a little bit more grounded than magical lake goddesses. I need you to get me some things, and if we find them all, we can discuss the options, but right now, we need to hurry. Are you with me?
What are these things?
Okay.
Just tell us what they are. What are these things?
We're going to need a trimmer or a razor, clear the area, felt marker, 2 hooks, 1 dull, 1 sharp if you can find it, probably something from the kitchen. Betadine, I'm sure Oliver has some. He's a fucking workout fiend. He gets injured all the time. 2 sharp knives. Nova probably has some. Self-retainer, we're not going to be able to find. Isopropyl alcohol. Kelly can't say that. As much as you can find. Clean clothes. Again, as much as you can find. Cloths, towels, anything. Purified water. They're kind of preppers. Again, they might have some of that. And he begins to rub his beard a little bit. And a power drill.
There's no other options?
There's not. I don't have the proper equipment at home. Normally if this happened here and it was not as accelerated, it's not that accelerated. If it was more accelerated, someone would have died. No. Power drill and a 14mm drill bit.
Nate, are we doing this? Like I did. And I'm going to look at Marie.
What else can we do?
I don't know. I'm like losing my mind. This feels like this is some sort of like, this is not real. Like we're not going to take a power drill to Marie's head with hooks.
Dr. Samuel.
Yeah.
Do you think that if we don't do this, she's gonna die?
If I'm right and we don't do this, she will bleed more into her brain, which will compress it and she will die.
Okay.
If I'm
that was
wrong,
a yes or no.
If I'm wrong and we do this, there may be complications. Yes, but it's not going to kill her if I'm wrong. If I'm right, and it's the only option right now.
Yeah. I turn to Laura and I say, look, as far as I'm concerned, we got to try something. And this is, if we're wrong, then the hair will grow back and I don't know. I guess she'll still be alive.
Yeah, will the skull grow back?
If we're right.
I think, right, yes, but if we're wrong, she uses her mind to make a living. Like this is not something. Nate, put yourself in Marie's position.
And
you were laying on that couch.
This is great material for a book.
Oh, but if you were laying where Marie is right now, would you want us to make a decision like that and drill into your skull?
Honestly, yes.
Okay.
If the options are I die or a painless surgery, well, I'm guessing painless because she's like out of it, but a surgery happens and I just have to heal from it. Yeah.
I die, and you just see like Laura kind of doing this, like it's like a panicked look of like we don't have any other options. I have no idea what to do for Marie.
All right.
I turn back to. I turn.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I turn back to Dr. Samuel and say, is there any way to like check that this is it before we do it?
I don't have.
Like if I took a pin.
I don't have a CT scanner. I don't have an MRI here. Normally when things get bad in this town, we send people to Edmonton or Calgary, but I've seen this before. I did an ER rotation during my residency, and honestly, people with severe concussions have this happen.
You said also that it could be what,
I know what you're
Ben,
talking about.
What Ben also did. So you're sure that
we couldn't get Ben's temperature up. Marie's temperature is going up. She was just cold from being outside. Listen, I don't like this this any more than you do, but it's our only hope.
Let me just try one thing, and then I will help you gather your markers and your hooks and your power drill. And I'm going to go over to Marie, and not going to shake Marie, but I'm going to put both my hands on Marie's shoulder and kind of like, I'm going to put my face right up to Marie's face. Marie, you better wake up or we're going to take a power drill to your head. And I'm going to like squeeze her shoulders a little bit. Please pull yourself out of this. I do not want to do this to you. And if we have to, we're going to. But if this is not something, if you're just in like a fugue state, wake the fuck up, Marie.
No response.
I look over at Nate. And I stand up and I just start going in the kitchen, and you start hearing me going through the drawers and like getting knives and like cleaning things and trying to make sure what we're getting for Marie is.
Sam turns to you, Nate, and says, power drill's probably in the garage. I've got saline, first aid kit, and a defibrillator in my truck.
All right, go grab that. I'm warning you, I'm not real mobile, so you're gonna have to help me grab some of this stuff. I'll try and get, I'll try and find a power drill, and then I'll start on the clothes.
All right. He goes outside. Each of you give me a spot hidden roll.
Including me?
Yeah. No.
You wake up.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
36. Oh yeah, that was
No.
I got a 36 versus 45 success.
See, I'm real
I
worried.
love that
because,
Nate's the one that doesn't find anything.
are you gonna push it, Nate? Or are you
They
good?
have no clothes here. I gotta push it. There's no choice. Oh, I gotta save Marie.
I'm so scared.
If he fails, he finds just like
Okay.
the dirty drawer, you know?
And I can't spend luck on that.
You can't spend luck.
Can I spend my luck on it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Spend your luck for their roll.
The way that I will work
Can
this,
I give
though,
myself bardic inspiration or something? Please. It has to work.
The way that I will work this, though. So, Laura, you are able to find like sharp knives, like fancy ones. There are indeed hooks for smoking meat that you would like hang in a smoker. You felt marker, razor trimmer are easy enough to find in the bathroom. And as you're gathering that, Nate, you've been running around on your foot basically since you got here. Your recently broken foot.
Come on. When I said push it, I thought it would be like you find an ice pick. Not.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm going to be a bit lenient. This is going to hurt, but it won't affect your ability to find. It won't affect the party's ability to find things. You might be out for the count. So I'm going to roll, let's say 1d10 of damage. I just typed 1d10.
Oh.
The tension. Okay. You making your way to the garage, it is a lowered garage, and you step down the stairs attempting to make your way, and you think that you are on the last step and take a wider step forward, at which point your broken leg hits the ground and a sting of searing pain shoots up your leg. You stumble and have to lower yourself to the floor, but you are basically winded in the garage right now.
Can we say that as I sort of lurched forward, I grabbed onto like nearby stuff to try and steady myself, ended up pulling over a bunch of things onto the ground?
Yeah, as like trying to think what the as like cans and
I was gonna
stuff
think
kind of
canned
fall
goods, yeah.
onto you. Again, just like buffeting your leg. And you just sit there in the dark at the bottom of the stairs in the garage.
Do I hear this? Like, there's no way I don't, right?
It's a fairly big house. Give me a
Listen?
spot hidden.
Or would that be
Okay.
listen?
Listen. Yes, sorry.
Listen. Okay. I don't think I've done a listen roll yet. Oh, there it is.
I don't know.
Actually,
I think we've done one before.
Laura. Oh, come on.
Oh, do you have luck?
Spend that
Spend
luck, spend
4.
that
Do you
luck.
have luck?
I do. I think I think I will spend my luck. I almost want to push it, but I don't think I will because I think I'm frantic.
It's
I'm
so
frantically.
close for luck, though. That's not bad.
I know.
Spending 4 luck.
You might need it is the thing.
I'm stingy. I mean, this is the thing. I might need luck to save Marie's head.
How much luck do you have right now?
47.
Oh.
That might be what makes or breaks
Oh,
Marie's
you're fine.
brain.
You're fine.
All right, I will take.
Nate's like, I got 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend luck.
I'm negative luck.
I know you are. I'll
Wait, are
spend
you?
luck.
I don't think you can
And,
go negative.
No, I'm
I
not
think
actually.
Laura's just so hyper
I'm not
vigilant at the
actually.
moment that I probably hear like a pin drop,
Yeah.
or I mean, maybe not that close. But
So here's the thing. My grandparents had the thing that when you open the door, it goes ding ding. The garage door does that. So Nate goes into the garage based on the beep. And then you hear
Ah!
I
and then-
immediately grab my stuff from the kitchen and like I imagine the coffee table and kind of just gingerly put everything down and then run into the garage. Are you? I'm gonna switch a light on. What do I see? I just see Nate laying
Just
on the ground with
covered in
cans.
stuff.
Ah!
What the? And I'm gonna just start picking cans up and like, I imagine there's like a storage shelf that I just gotta pull up and kind of put upright. Are you okay? Like,
You find a jug of purified water as well.
this is handy. I put it on the stairs. Nate, are you okay?
I misjudged the
I know.
step.
I can get this stuff. Here, let me help you up. And I'm gonna put my arm underneath yours and try to help you up. Can you use the crutch to get up? God,
Yeah.
did you hurt yourself even more? Nate,
I think so. I think I pushed a little too hard.
Nate, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We're trying to save our friend's life.
I know. Why not here? I'm gonna help you inside and you're gonna sit with Marie and then I will come get the fucking drill and I will get all the other stuff. I don't need you to also get more hurt.
Okay.
Are you okay?
My leg's broken. I don't think I'm good. No.
Okay. This is an absolute nightmare, right? And I'm gonna start trying to guide you towards the steps and try to help you up the steps.
As you do, you hear the ding of the front door open as Dr. Samuel comes walking in, his arms overloaded with stuff, seeing you helping Nate and okay, 1 sec, I'll come to help, and rushes to the living room, dumps all his stuff and comes over and sort of supports Nate on the other side. I told you to try to take it easy.
And then you asked me to go get a power drill.
Yes, that was my fault. All right, come on.
I'm gonna go
leads
get
you
the
in-
drill.
Betadine probably in Oliver's workout bag in there.
I will just like literally do like the hide and seek looking for every item so Nate doesn't have to do anything. Just so that, I don't want Nate falling downstairs again.
I will say that it takes longer since you're the only one doing it, but you do manage to find everything. Nate, he sort of like positions you on the lounge chair he was sitting on. And you see that he had brought in a saline pack, a first aid kit, and a defibrillator, and looks over at you and says, okay, there's going to be 2 assistant roles during this procedure. One person needs to hold her head. One person needs to hold open the wound. Are you in? Which one do you want?
Okay. I think for a second, and I'm like, I feel like I've dealt with more gruesome injuries than Laura has, just from hockey stuff. So I think about it and think of like the injury compilations I've seen. Some hockey injuries, by the way, horrendous. But yeah, I'll hold the wound. I'll hold the wound.
Okay. And he hands you the alcohol that Esbrun brought over. Wash your hands as much as possible. I couldn't find any gloves. We should be okay. I have a lot of antibiotics.
Maybe they have some. Maybe they have like gloves, like rubber gloves to clean.
I'll look
in the house.
All right. Sure enough, you do. You find some like cleaning gloves. Those rubber ones. Probably will want to clean those off thoroughly. But after some time, you all gather all of the supplies, and looking at them on the table is menacing. And Samuel sort of like adjusts his back and looks down at Marie. All right, we should put her on the coffee table, move everything. We need her back to be as stable as possible. Laura, you help. Nate, you stay still. We'll move the coffee table so that you can get access to her head. And he sort of like starts taking everything off, moves the table facing you, and then goes to grab Marie's head, like cradling it to keep it as still as possible. Grab her feet, Laura.
Why do I need to grab her feet?
To help me get her onto the coffee table.
Oh, okay. And I will grab and try to like, I'm bracing with everything. I'm not going to drop Marie.
All right. The two of you gingerly place Marie on the coffee table, and being as short as Marie is, she actually manages to fit on this hard surface. Both of you give me a psychology.
I got an 81 versus 10 failure.
Yeah, you're pretty stressed out. That's fair.
83 versus 50.
You're sort of focusing.
Can I push it?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say no, because this is a high tension situation. It's mostly to look at Samuel and see how he's doing. But he sort of straightens up and says, all right, I'm going to lead you through the procedure so that you know what's going to happen and you aren't surprised. We have her on the coffee table. I need to locate where the where the one sec. Kelly needs to look at this again. Hematoma is. Thank you.
The hematoma.
The hematoma is. We're going to shave that location about 5 centimeters or so. I'm going to draw the line of incision. I'm going to make an incision down to the bone. There will be some blood. I need to push everything aside. Nate, you're going to hold the incision open. I'm going to take the drill. I'm going to drill into the skull. I need one of you to... ideally, we would be able to pour saline onto it. Maybe we can set it up to pour easily. All right. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. There's going to be a lot of noise, and then suddenly it's going to stop. I'm going to pull it out. The hooks are to remove some of the bone. There will be a lot of blood, and hopefully everything will drain. If it looks like there's still swelling, I might have to move some things over a bit, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay. If anyone needs to make any prayers or take a shot, now would be the time.
Take a shot?
It's a joke.
Yeah, it better be.
I'm about to take a shot at your face. I'd like to reach down and look at Marie very, like just sort of hold Marie's head and say, sort of lean down and say, Marie, hold on. We're gonna help you out. You just hold on. We can't lose you. Carl can't lose you. Okay, just hold on. And then I look up and nod at the other two.
All right. And he starts examining Marie's head, sort of like pushing the hair aside, looking for anything that it looks like a bruise, but with not a lot of contusions around it. The place that she was hit from the car is right here near the front, but the bleeding could be elsewhere. All right, I found it. Give me the trimmer or razor or whatever you found.
As I'm picking up the razor, can I do one last Hail Mary of thinking through every single bit of media I've ever consumed, every single reality TV show on TLC, anything that might give me, or like an episode of House, something that might give me an inkling like there's another way before I give this razor to the doctor.
Roll a education.
Oh my god. Oh, I put a lot in education.
You're
It seems
educated.
wrong. 87 versus 98.
Oh!
98. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You scour your media knowledge, remembering every show that you watched, every movie, every reference to a subdermal hematoma and a burr hole that you can possibly imagine. And one thing does stick out. You know that it is hard to find a hematoma without a CT or an MRI. He's acknowledged this and is trying his damnedest to find it. But other than that, you can't think of anything else that this might be outside of a episode of a supernatural that you watched where someone was put into a paralytic state from a spell.
I know that you can't find a hematoma this way. Don't fuck this up.
He grabs the razor and looks over and he says, I promise that you will wake up. I know I'm not supposed to, but fuck it. She will wake up, okay?
She will wake up.
She will wake up. And you hear the
She will wake
of
up.
the trimmer turning on as he trims a section of her hair. All right. You can see now that there is indeed a faint bruise that has formed around the area that he has shaved. All right, marker. And you can see he kind of goes into like, hand me a marker mode. And draws a line across the bruise. Okay. Laura, I need you to keep her still. If she starts to move, if you can feel any tremors or anything, please let me know. This is the time when we can stop. Once the drill is in, once the drill's up, if she starts to move, you need to have an iron grip on her, okay?
Okay.
All right. And he grabs the knife that has sort of been sitting in like a bowl full of alcohol. All right. Did we get the betadine?
Yeah.
You
There's
see
a bottle
like a
right there.
brand name and he squirts it on the wound or on the bald spot. All right. Here we go. And he begins to slice with the blade and you can see it break the skin and the scalp immediately separates where the blade enters and he pushes until he feels resistance and he slowly carves along the incision mark and you can see as the skin separates for a moment you can see the flesh and the white of the skull before blood starts to fill the wound. It's okay, that's all right. There's a lot of bleeding in the scalp. Is she still Laura?
Yeah. I don't feel any movement.
Right. And you can see him like start to scrape like a clear film off of the top of the skull with the blade, trying his best not to like scrape or like indent the bone or anything. as he sort of like peels it off, and it almost looks like when you put glue onto your hand and then peel it off, but it is wet and viscous, and sort of like plops it down on the coffee table next to him. All right, Nate, you got to get in there. Put one finger on each side of the wound and pull as not hard but stable.
I do it.
All right. Wearing the gloves, I hope.
Yes. Oh, yes.
All right. Again, I need to warn you, there will be a lot of blood. Laura, you can look away, but I need to make sure, Nate, that you do not slip. All right. And he goes over and grabs the drill, making sure that the bit is tight, and you hear the as he tests it. All right. Very still. Not an inch, okay?
Can I position my hands so that I'm not only holding this open, but also like helping to sort of clamp down on the sides of her head to aid Laura?
You can. And as you do that, he slowly puts the drill to the bone and then pulls back. Wait.
What the fuck are you doing?
And he grabs the saline pack. And you can see he like twists the plug just a little bit, and you see like a bit of a stream start to pour out, and he flips it upside down. He says, Nate, can you grip one end of this with your teeth, maybe? I just need you to get into the wound.
Okay. I do it.
And he sort of like plugs the drip for a moment. Okay. And with one hand, like places the drill up against the skull and lets go, and a light, steady stream of saline begins to pour into the skull as... All right. And you see the drill immediately start carving shreds out of the skull as it goes deeper. And you can see him stabilizing himself and pushing in as the saline pours over it. A bit of smoke begins to form, and the smell of burning bone fills your nostrils. Both of you make a constitution roll.
Success, 45 versus 65.
I'm like, I really hope
failure.
someone passes out or
87
throws
versus
up.
60. Am I able to push this?
No, this is a dramatic moment.
Can I spend luck on it?
If you can spend that much luck, you certainly can. If you want
Is it
to.
worth it? I have 35 luck in total, folks. I have 35 luck in total. This would cost 27. Is it worth it?
I will tell you what will happen if you don't.
Oh.
You've seen wounds, like you said, and it's not the image. You can look at the blood and you can look at the bone, kind of almost like a pencil sharpener, coming away from the skull, but you didn't expect the smell. And there will be a moment where you clench and almost gag a little bit and like flick the wound slightly, sort of twitching a little bit.
That's not good. Oh goodness. I'm trying to figure out if I need this luck for future checks. That's the difficulty.
Yeah.
We always do.
Yeah. But the stakes have never been higher. Oh man. All right. What does everyone else think? Because I could go either way
whatever
on
you
this
want to
one.
do, man. It's your luck.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be a you decision because you might need it later. So you got to be willing.
How much luck do you have right now?
I have 35, so this would take me down to 8.
Yikes.
So if I don't, then I'm gonna and sort of jerk and
There will be
potentially
some movement, yes.
Oh yeah, you have your fingers all up
and
in
he
there.
made it very clear that it's imperative that her head be kept completely steady. So I'm gonna spend
Maybe
it.
the
I'm gonna
rolls
spend
want to
the
tell a
27
story
luck.
though, man.
You feel that smell hits your nose, and immediately the thoughts of what is happening sort of hit you in a moment. But you grit your teeth, sort of biting into the plastic of the saline, and you keep your fingers still. Laura, the smell is as startling, but I think you're you're very focused, and also don't have your fingers in the skull of your friend right now. As you manage to hold back any retching or moving, and the drill continues. He doesn't stop until you see it get through the bone, and then it almost like slips forward ever so slightly before he stops. All right. A lot of blood. And sort of like reaches around with one hand and grabs like cloths and stuff and just puts it on the coffee table. And he slowly pulls it out, and you hear the ever faintest bit of scraping as the spiral of the drill touches the skull and pulls out, and like an upside down wine bottle pulling the cork out, blood just starts to pour out. And he smiles. That's good. That's good. That's a good sign. This is old blood. That means she has been bleeding into her brain. Okay. Oh fuck, thank God. And you see just like staining the cloth around you is this dark sort of brackish blood. Okay. There's one more thing I have to check. I need to lift up the skin to make sure that there aren't clots. Did you find a sharp hook?
Yes, I found several, but I just kind of try to still steady Marie and gesture towards these hooks on the couch. I'm assuming we moved them to.
Yeah. Okay. And he stands up, and you can see that his like light blue button down is just like covered crimson, black crimson across his chest. And he walks over and he grabs the hook and still soaking it in the alcohol and brings it over. Okay. We're past the worst of it now. And just sort of slowly cuts the skin a bit more. And you can see sort of globules of old blood start to come out as clots begin to fall onto the cloth in front of you. Okay, we'll let it sit for a bit. How's everyone doing?
You see Laura hasn't looked away from any of it and is just laser focused and weirdly calm, and looks from Nate to the doctor and doesn't say anything.
Dr. Samuel grabs the bag, which is basically empty at this point, from you, Nate, and puts it next to him. Okay, how are you doing?
Okay, I mean, is she gonna be all right?
Yeah. There's might be a little bit of just regular bleeding at this point, but the worst of it is gone. We're gonna give it a bit, and then I'm gonna suture her up. Are your fingers cramping at all?
No.
Okay. Ooh.
Have
I
I
had to do that.
have I sensed any move? I've not sensed any movement, Marie. Hopefully.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Can I take a couple of my fingers? Because my hands are huge in comparison to Marie's head. Like, I'm even looking at the character art right now, and one of my hands is as large as her entire head.
Yeah.
Could I take, like, my little fingers and just sort of lift her eyelids and peer to see if there's any difference?
As you do, Samuel, like, tenses up as he watches. But you open her eyes, and as the light hits them, they dilate. Okay, that's good. That's good. She's probably just regular old unconscious now. It might take her a bit to get back in. Also, what blood type are the two of you? Does anyone know her blood type?
No, I mean, that's not really something you like. Hi, my name's Laura.
I mean, I thought you guys were long-term friends.
Can I roll history? Can I roll history to see if by any chance I remember her blood type?
Certainly can.
Okay. Come on. Strong 5. Come on. Come on. Give me that strong 5. Give me that strong 5. Oh!
Oh! How do you get it so close with a 5? That is crazy, Jeremy. What the heck?
Look, I'll still have 7 luck, is all I'm saying. I'll go ahead and spend a single luck.
I can't believe that.
No.
I think you're right. It doesn't come up that often. But I think just the fact of being like around Andy during like hockey and stuff. Actually, you know what it probably was? There's probably an assignment of Andy's that was basically like getting people's information, and there's probably a time that all of you had to talk about what your blood type was. And for some strange reason, you remember that Marie's was O positive.
Okay. I would go, O positive. She's O positive.
Oh, fuck.
Are
either of you O-neg for any reason?
No, I think I gave blood once. I think I'm AB negative or AB positive.
I know I'm the universal. I think I'm the universal receiver.
Well, that doesn't help. We'll just keep an eye on her. She should be okay. The blood that came out, I should suture up quick then, just in case.
What are you?
I'm A negative. And he goes to get the first aid kit and begins suturing her up. He allows you to move your hands, Nate, as he sort of like repositions all the layers back and begins putting in the stitches. This part he seems more than trained to do. Like, stitching people up in a small town is probably something he has to do every day. And he does it with no hesitation. It almost seems like he's relaxed at this point. Grabs some bandages and just wraps them. And we should move her back to the couch so that she can rest and wake up. Grabs her head again, drags her over. Also find every pain med you can find in this place. Tylenol. She's going to need it. She's not going to have a good few days ahead of her. But you all did good. You saved your friend.
Technically, you did.
Can I reach out and grab his arm and say, you did good, Doc.
As you do, you see like immediately tears. And he just sort of like bends over and starts almost hyperventilating. Oh, okay. It's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't had to do that in 20 plus years. I saw it in an episode of Grey's Anatomy recently, so that helped. Fuck.
What crushed your confidence, Sam?
Life. No, that's not true.
Was it Benjamin?
No. I haven't had my confidence in a while. It was Henry. We were in school together, and I don't know. He was special. But
Did
it
he
was
not
a long
treat
time
you
ago.
like you were special?
I like to think so. He got married. He didn't want to tell anyone about what we were. So he got married, and I had to go through my residency watching him be happy, and then he came here to help Ben, and we couldn't help him, and he just left. Haven't been good in a while, but I know your friend will be fine. I'm so sorry. I couldn't help Ben.
You did what you could, right?
Nate can't really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Did everything I could. I swear.
You should really recognize what you're capable of.
Too late.
And it's not too late. It's too late when you're dead.
Listen, people of this town, we just go about our day. We trying their best or making anything of their lives. Like you're a big shot record label person, and
No, that's a coping mechanism. Being here for the last few days has made me realize more and more that sometimes you make choices, and the choices are what keep you where you are. I haven't talked to Nate or Marie in years. What if I had reached out 10 years ago? What if I had reached out to anybody?
I don't know. I like to think it would make a difference, but like you said, it's choices. We made bad choices in our lives. We're where we are now because we deserve it.
Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. You just seem... And I kind of glance at Nate because I know he and I had talked about feeling kind of haunted by things. I don't think we're all so different. Maybe we have to let go of some ghosts. I don't know.
Roll a persuasion.
Okay. Let's see. I don't have a lot in this. 4 versus 10 hard success.
What? How are y'all doing that?
He his entire weight settles, and he looks away from you for a moment, just staring off into the distance. And then a small smile crosses his face, and he looks back at you. Yeah, maybe. Maybe once the storm clears, I'll get out of here.
I think we all should. And if it's any consolation, I'm proud of you.
Like, stutters. Thank you. Should all get some sleep.
Do you need some clothes? And I'm going to start, because I know, like, just covered in blood,
Yeah.
Is Nate also covered in blood or just
you all
Sam?
are.
Okay.
You realize now that it's like sort of dried a bit onto you. Yeah, we should raid Nova and Oliver's. They're fucking dicks, so I don't care.
I'll start like looking for things that might fit everybody, not really paying attention to style, but just functionality. And
you find some nice like pale pink and blue pajamas and just like like all the fashion trends from like Instagram you can find in Nova's. Oliver, like mostly workout gear, sweatshirts, and it doesn't even have a suit, but you find enough. And Oliver's a really large guy, so he fits both Samuel and Nate. And I think that by the time that you distribute all of the clothes, all of you are hit with the exhaustion of all the adrenaline and all the pain that you've had today. Is anyone going to attempt to stay up with Marie, or are you going to go to sleep?
I think Nate is going to try and stay up. Nate basically, as soon as Dr. Samuel started telling his story, the parallels between his experience with Henry and Nate's own experience with Andy really got to him. And he like when Laura like looked at him, Nate couldn't even really meet her gaze. And I think he's just gonna try and sit up with Marie for a while. He's in a lot of pain because of his leg, so he's probably going to be in like a very reclined position, but he's going to try and stay up because I think with how his brain is, he doesn't feel capable of sleeping even as exhausted as he is.
All right. Samuel says, I'll try to get some rest. If she seizes or wakes up, get me. I'll be on the stupid waterbed. Laura, you should try to get some sleep and then trade off.
Okay. I think I would probably stay up for like a short period of time after Sam leaves to go to bed to make sure that probably do my last check on Marie and then see if I can get any pain meds for Nate.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tylenol and ibuprofen. There's basically an unlimited amount of pain meds in this house. Between their like prepper corner and just the two bathrooms. And you're in more of a pressure throbbing pain, Nate, by the end. Less of a stinging sort of take your breath away pain.
Are you sure you want to stay up? Do you want me to go first?
No, I don't think I could sleep right now if I tried.
Well, I can, I don't know, maybe there's like a static alarm in the room. I'll set it for like a couple hours and then I can come out and we can trade.
Okay.
Are you okay? You had to like, you were really in there.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm okay, but I don't think it's just because of that.
Well, what else? I mean,
I think, well, what the doc was saying about having somebody that you're really close to and, watching him go off with somebody else, knowing you can't really be with him.
did you know Andy before Marie?
Yeah, I mean, we all met at school, but Andy and I became friends before him and Marie became a thing.
The thing about it is like, even if Marie wasn't in the picture, it may not have changed anything. I'm not trying to be.
I don't know.
Maybe it would have.
Benjamin said something once.
What?
Years ago, Benjamin, it's like he was fading in and out of consciousness, but he looked at me and he said that he likes you too.
What is?
And
was he drunk, or was Ben? She said fading in and out of consciousness.
yeah, we'd had a rough night. There was a whole thing with it was a hockey party and people were stealing clothes and Ben pulled a gun.
What? When did this happen? Pulled a gun, like a fake, like a twig or something. Be like, I got a gun.
No, he had a full hunting rifle. He pulled out a rifle, I think, and was aiming it at people on the team, and we had to like talk him out of it, and we left. You know when it was the night it was when we were naked. Andy, weren't you there?
Who was naked?
I heard you were there. Andy was naked. He said you and Marie were there.
I was never. Well, if Marie was there, I don't think I was ever with Andy naked. Like, I think I would remember that, right?
I don't know
like,
why you make that up.
But you need to tell me, like, so wait, did you and like Andy and Ben have this, like, first of all, what? A gun? And then and then you all just kind of like, what? I have so many questions.
We left. We split up. They stole our clothes. They burned them. We were trying to play a trick on them. We cut my head to scare him, but then it freaked everybody out, and Ben pulled a gun, and that freaked everybody out worse. And then we left and never got our clothes back.
Was this before or after
Andy came home and you were there?
Was this before or after, like, Ben and I had been dating?
Oh, this would be before. This is definitely before.
How? So you and Andy knew. Why didn't you didn't tell me? Don't you think that would be something important for me to know?
Well, I guess I kind of told you. Do you remember that conversation we had where I was asking about like a project or something? I don't remember all the details, but I know I wanted to, because Ben was sad.
Yeah, Ben was sad. That's what kind of
Ben. Yeah, but before you got together, Ben was having a really rough time because of everything. And I was worried, so I went and talked to you about it. But like, I talked about it in a way that you wouldn't figure out. I used a metaphys. I can't. Whatever it was, the thing where you're saying the thing that you don't mean the thing that you say, but you mean another thing. Like
an allegory metaphor kind of thing.
Yeah, an allegory metaphor.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter anymore. Did you guys keep you and Andy? I'm so sorry that you felt that way and have for all these years. And is there anything I can do to make it okay, or make you feel better, or
the choice already has been made.
Do you think
it's too late to do anything about it?
You're saying Ben said that, Andy was into you too. Do you really believe that in your heart of hearts that was the case?
I hope so.
What you two had was very special, and no matter what, nobody can take that away from you. The bond that you two had, I always looked at it with such envy and kind of awe of, I wanted that so bad. That ability and comfort to just talk to each other like unconditional. It literally looked like unconditional love. Maybe not in the ways that you were hoping. There was love between you two. And no matter what happens, that will never change.
Thank you.
I know that doesn't take away the hurt and then the fact that you just found out about what happened.
Yeah, you're right, it doesn't, but you can't change what's already happened. All you can try and do is make things better going forward.
I feel like that's so much harder to do in
It's
practice.
Yeah, but it's like Rafiki says in The Lion King. You can't change it. It's in the past. You just got to remember who you are and go forward and, you know.
Was it the day you
What
asked me
became-
about Simba and Nala?
You know, I really got to go to the bathroom. And I awkwardly start like trying to get to my feet with the crutch. I say, we'll pick it up later. I gotta rush.
I'm sorry that I didn't realize when we were younger how I could have been there for you differently. I suppose
I know.
Marie maybe is hearing
I know
all of
you
this.
would have been if you. I freeze and turn. I'm like,
It doesn't matter.
okay, now I really got to go to the bathroom.
Well, no. Well, before you go, I will wait. But I guess I need both of you to hear this, whether Marie can or not. I guess I needed you, and I needed Marie all these years. And I know that I haven't said that for 30 some odd years, but I'm going to say it now. I need you, Nate, and I need you, Marie.
I need you too. And I need you too, Marie. I say awkwardly, like leaning over her and sort of talking very loud at her unconscious form.
She better write us into her next book as like the detectives who solve all of the crimes.
Yeah, you can be like the Sherlock Bones, and then I can be the muscle. What's his
Ooh.
name? Watford?
I like Watford. I like Sherlock Bones and Watford. I think we could sell that to Marie.
Are you going to the bathroom for any particular reason or just to break the awkward moment, Nate?
I was just trying to break the tension,
All right.
but I think I want to go in for a hug with Laura before I guess going to the bathroom.
He's the tension is broken a bit, and I need Nate, if you are the first one staying with Marie, to roll a Constitution check.
Okay.
This one you will be able to push if you fail, because it's what you would do to try to keep yourself awake.
Oh.
Holy crap.
97 versus 60.
Oh, you fall asleep.
Yeah,
Are you
I
gonna
would
push it,
like
or are
to
you-
push. I would like to push it.
Oh my
Yeah, I'd like to,
Smack
and I'm gonna keep myself up. I'm gonna keep myself up by sort of rocking slowly from side to side and sort of very quietly singing Lion King songs under my breath.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and roll again.
Oh,
It's-
80 versus 60.
It's not long after Laura leaves, and you settle in next to Marie, starting to feel your body just relax as you start to sing Lion King songs. But from the cornucopia of drugs that you've been taking for the pain, the length of the day, the fact that your body is in recovery mode, and just all of the heavy weight that you have been carrying, you barely last 2 minutes before fully passing out. And the time is 3:16 a.m. when Marie's body begins to seize. And it does so for a solid minute before settling. And Marie, your head tilts. You have never had this bad of a headache. Like the worst pressure dehydration headache that you could possibly imagine as you awake on a couch in the dark with the large silhouette of Nate slumped over in a lounge chair across the coffee table from you. You just had the vision of Andy chasing you across the lake and the body of Ben standing in front of you with the arms sewn to the side and the voice of "Alive, Andy," muffled in your ears as the raven rips out your chest and flies away. But you are awake and you are in so much pain.
Ow. Can I see anything or is it too dark?
It is. You can see just from the blurred light coming from the street light outside, the silhouette of Nate, and the I'll say the hallway light. I feel like part of the reason that Nate fell asleep is that he probably turned off some of the lights.
Do I see anything on the table, or am I just really seeing Nate here?
There's weird black mounds on the coffee table. But every time that you attempt to move, you get a sting through your head.
Okay. Do I think I can sit up? I'll try to sit up.
Roll a Constitution check.
Do I have to make this hard or anything?
Yeah, let's say hard.
Chuckles from Kelly.
62 versus 20.
Almost like sleep paralysis. It takes a solid 30 seconds of just building up momentum in your body to try to move. And the moment that your head begins to lift off of the couch, you get a stinging feeling through your entire body and have to lower down. Even as you try to talk, you realize that your mouth is parched and dry from dehydration, or at least not having water in a while.
Nate?
No response.
Nate, I can't move.
Roll me a hard listen, Nate.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
See.
You're can't move and yelling for help and no one helps you.
Oh. 37 versus 20.
You hear a snore coming from Nate as he sort of shifts a bit in the lounge chair. But nobody can hear you.
Oh. Is anyone here? Hello?
Laura, I will make you roll an extreme listen.
Okay.
On the off chance that upstairs you can hear the soft voice of Marie calling out.
All right. I put it to extreme.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh, a failure
are-
92 versus 7.
Laura's out
out.
cold.
Not to mention the wind still buffeting the side of the home in the bedroom that you are sleeping. Plus Nova's bed is basically like a cloud that when you sit on it just
I was imagining like it just being like
embraces
the most
you.
comfy bed ever.
yeah. It's basically just like a solid 2 feet of fluff on the top. But you keep calling out Marie and nobody can hear you.
Do I hear myself?
You can, but it's labored.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out my arm towards the black stuff on the table and just grab something and like try and throw it at
You
Nate's
feel
body.
a squish, a wet splorch as you grab something on the table.
And I chuck it.
You give me a hard strength as you try to lob this heavy wet mass.
Oh, I got it now. One at one.
1 out of
Uh,
20? What?
Despite the pain just emanating through your body, you manage to hold this dent wet mass in your hand and lob it, hitting Nate in the leg, which slips off of the coffee table and slams on the ground, jolting you awake, Nick.
Oh, I just can't wait. But Marie?
Nate, what am I doing here?
Marie?
What am I doing
you're awake?
here?
You
No, I'm
you were
sleeping.
sick. You had
God.
what?
I said, no, I'm sleeping. Ow.
Oh, no. You're talking. I think you had a hemoglobin. I think. You had a thing in your head. We had to drill a hole in your head so your head could. Yeah, your head was filling up with old blood, and we had to drill a hole in your head so we could pour. Don't touch it. Don't move your hand away from it. Don't touch it. You shouldn't touch it.
Okay. You drilled a hole in my head?
Yeah, it was to save your life.
I will say that Marie doesn't need to roll for this and knows exactly what it was.
Wow. That's fucking incredible. That's badass.
Yeah,
You
it was.
saved me.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Oh, you
We
saved me so
lost
hard
him.
as you disappeared from the call.
What's the
Ah.
timing?
My job here is done. Please.
Rage quit.
That's when we realized like Nate's like an angel.
I like to
Hope
think it
betrayed
was a
me briefly.
There we go.
We got you back.
All right.
I think I'm back.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
good. I'm back. Yeah, so I'll say, yeah, it was me. It was Laura and Dr. Samuel. I held your head open. Laura held your head in place, and the doc drilled you open. And yeah, I guess it was pretty cool. It was. Honestly, I'm just glad you're back. I'm just glad you're okay.
Like tears.
How do you feel?
Leak out of Marie's eyes as she feels so loved in this moment. I'm in so much pain. Ow. But thank you. I had a dream
Anytime.
about you, I think.
You did?
Yeah, you
What happened in the dream?
were a raven saving my heart.
Like that story.
Mm-hmm.
Like your story.
I'm sorry I couldn't save yours.
What do you mean?
Well, with Andy,
you mean how he died?
all of it.
Can I roll something to try to see if I can figure out what exactly they mean by all of it?
Roll a psychology. I will also say that your throat is very dry, and if at any point during the scene you want to get water for Marie, that can be part of what's going on.
Yes.
I imagine probably there was some left to her at the side. In preparation.
81 versus 25.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting her water while trying to figure out like, can I push this, or would that be? I don't know. Nah, it's very important to Nate. So I
don't need to, because Marie will just say, as you're like, you get up and head to get water. I just say, I know everything.
Everything? What do you mean? What is what do you mean everything?
I couldn't actively hear, but I feel like I heard a conversation with you and Laura at my bedside.
Nate is in a full flop sweat.
I'm really sorry. I know you didn't mean to tell me, but I did hear it. And I'm sorry that brought you pain.
Let me just get you that water. I think I need a little bit of water. I'm gonna go get 2 glasses and hobble back. Yeah, and so I'm gonna get as many painkillers as I can carry along with my crutch, and just sort of hobble back, and collapse on the couch next to Marie, and then hand her. I guess would Marie need me to help her drink it?
Yeah, definitely. She's nodding. She's basically doing this fully lying down, barely moving her head, just her mouth moving.
All right. I'll gently prop her up a little bit, and under with my arm, and then help give her the water. Very awkward silence is happening right now.
You didn't have to tell me back then. I guess I'm kind of, I don't know. It's sad, and I really want you to be happy.
You're not mad?
No.
You don't feel betrayed?
Well, you didn't act on anything, did you?
No.
You can't help what your heart feels. Andy is amazing. It's no wonder.
Is?
Well, he might not be here, but I still see him from time to time.
Like a ghost?
He's certainly upset that I brought Carl here, that's for sure.
Wait, did he talk to you? You see Andy and he talks to you?
I definitely, not in the physical sense, but I dream about him a lot. Even when the first night on the way here, after the car crash, when I was, I think, unconscious, my mind just conjured him up, and it was terrible that time, but other times it's not.
Did you see him while you were unconscious?
Just now?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I did. And also, I saw Ben. But it was fucked up. He had arms attached to him, like additional arms sewn onto his body. I was on some lake, and I think it was dangerous, but the mind is a wild place.
Well, I mean, whenever I see Andy, it's always just memories or, I guess, wishes. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you see him or Ben again, tell him I said hi, and that I wish I could have been there for him in the end.
I will. Where's Carl?
They went to that party thing, I think. Didn't you say they went somewhere?
Oh, fuck.
I haven't seen him since.
That's right. Okay. So he doesn't know that I'm here?
No.
Okay.
We were thinking we'd go and try and find him in the morning. Once you
Yeah.
were okay. Once we were sure.
I mean, I'm in a lot of pain, but at least I'm alive. Thanks to you and Laura.
Yeah. I think... well, I think Laura will be waking up here in maybe a few hours, so... Or maybe less. I don't know how many hours she set the alarm for, but when she's down, I know she'll be over the moon to see that you're okay.
You'll be my own deputy so-and-so in the next book. Or whatever you want to be called.
Really? You mean it?
Of course. I mean, if we
I'll
survive
get to
this
be in your
storm...
book?
You actually kind of already are. I built Jane's dog after you.
What kind of dog is it?
Oh, German Shepherd, Golden Retriever cross, extremely loyal, always happy to see her. Really good at sniffing things out.
And as the
gotta
two
read
of you
this book.
talk for a bit, the date is Friday, January 6th, 2023. The time is 5:40 a.m. Riley has just turned the corner onto the street with her house and Nova and Oliver's. Her first instinct would be to bring you to her house, Carl. And Nova and Oliver's is further down the street.
I mean, that's where
So-
Carl's staying. Carl would go to
Yeah.
Riley's. Yeah.
So she'll pull up at her place, looking looking like she's sobered up quite a bit in the last hour or so, and turns to you and says, "Well, have the good night. Try to get some rest. I know that it's been a lot."
Yeah. Thanks for driving me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. I need to.
You don't think she murdered one of them, do you?
No, I don't think so.
What if she did?
Then they it must have been slow and the person must have really let her do it, because I haven't seen Maureen be able to lift anything that could kill someone in
People
10
put drugs
years.
in people's stuff sometimes and do weird things.
Where's the mayor gonna get drugs?
I don't know.
Listen, you are from the city. You're thinking like serial killer, fucking detective show stuff. This is, I don't know, someone probably died and an animal got to them or something.
No,
It's
it
usually
didn't look
animals.
like that. That did not look like an animal took that out of somebody.
I don't know, there's waste products. Maybe a waste truck was driving by on the highway, something fell off. Listen, everything's gonna have a rational answer.
Yeah,
Usually
Sure.
does.
I hope whatever you find at her house is.
I don't. Oh fuck. Right. I hope everyone's clothed now.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks. And listen, I'm sorry about everything that went down at Mara's, her Walt's. She
What?
was what?
What did happen?
You, I don't know. You just went out and then you were out for a while. It happens to a lot of us the first time. I wouldn't think
First
too much
time
about
what?
it. It's the first time we tried to do anything spiritual.
What exactly were we doing?
We were trying to help a friend.
Help them
Liam-
how?
Liam has been, as Mara would put it, his essence has been drained for so long that he's damaged spiritually. And we were trying to protect him and heal him. It's the same thing we would do for any of our friends.
How is his essence being drained? So
We
this
told
was
you
some
he
kind
was-
of like healing circle?
Yes. His dad was asking too much of him for too long. We tried to protect him when he left the coven. We kept him safe as long as we could. But there's only so much that burnt herbs and prayers can do for someone when
Protecting him from what? His sick dad?
exhaustion, burnout, meltdown, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he needs food and sleep. Not a
And
healing
he's gonna
spell.
get it now. You can do both.
Sure.
You can do everything that Samuel did, and you can do everything that we do.
There's no way that was a healing spell.
It worked. He was awake when you left. You talked to him.
We could have
Mara
just been
might
making a
have
bunch
weird
of noise
ideas,
and woke
but they
him up.
walk. Did it? Did it?
I don't know. All I know is it was fucked up.
Listen, it worked. My mother's a Buddhist. She would do stuff and she believed it worked. People have their beliefs and stuff happens and they apply it to it. Mara likes doing this witchy stuff, and from our perspective it works. And listen, we're friends, we're a coven. and we stick with her. We stick together, and really think she wanted to maybe have you be a friend too.
Look, I'm fine with being a friend.
We
I
won't
don't know
make you
if
do
that
any more
shit's
rituals. You can hang out in the living
real.
room and give it time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This has been a wild day. I don't even know what I believe.
Sleep it off. It's usually easier to piece things together after.
Yeah. Carl will get out of the car, and before he closes the door, just says, "Thanks again for picking me up and for showing up. I really don't know what Elias was going to do. I think he's having a panic attack."
Yeah, he's small-time cop.
That's
Takes a lot to carry
Mara's
him.
dad, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he's kind of an idiot. Oh yeah. Tell Laura that Walt should have her phone fixed by tomorrow.
Oh, she's going to be really happy. She was really stuck to that phone, like constantly looking at it.
Yeah. Walt's a fucking genius. I don't understand half the things he does, but
Yeah.
should be good. All right, sleep. You're a doctor. You know all the shit you have to do if you realize that you're injured.
Yeah.
I'm on graveyards now, so I'll see you tomorrow night.
Just one more question. Who is the lady with Mara and Elias?
Where?
In his office.
Ah. That's Mara's mom. She's not with us.
Something happened to her?
She left. When Mara was kindergarten, I think. Listen, Elias definitely was the reason for that. Pushed pretty hard.
Yeah.
Mara took it pretty bad.
Okay. Drive safe.
Thanks. I gotta go break up an orgy, apparently.
Good
And
luck
then,
with that one. And Carl will
turns
shut
on
the
the
door
truck
and head over to
drives away.
And Carl will head into the room or into the house.
All right. It is just as you left it earlier.
Carl's gonna check the room to see if his mom, like just peek in to see if his mom's in there.
Nope. You see her stuff there, but and like remnants of clothing changes and stuff, but she's not there.
And Carl says out loud to himself, "Oh, maybe she's decided to stay with her friends." And then Carl will look at the room across, and I think that's Riley's room, right?
Yeah.
Carl's gonna open the door and see if the laptop's still in there.
It is still sitting on the corner of the bed near the nightstand.
They are gonna grab the laptop. Is there a charger or something around?
It's plugged into the wall.
Oh. Carl will just gingerly unplug it and try to remember where it was positioned and take the laptop out into the living room and
right.
start it up. I think they also grab something to eat because they're starving and it's 5 a.m.
There's again that like pre-packaged meals in like the freezer and stuff, as well as like a lot of like health food and stuff like that. You see a lot of it isn't eaten. It's a lot of like snack food and stuff. You could find like dried prawn, like those dried prawn chips. Those are pretty good.
Oh, those are tasty. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll take a bag of that and just open it up, start munching on it while waiting for the laptop to load up.
Oh, the moment you open the laptop, you hear moaning.
Oh, Carl's gonna pause that.
Give
Is
me.
Marine on screen?
Oh no! Yeah,
No.
anyone I recognize. No, I'm just kidding.
Give me a history. No, just the first thing that was left open was just straight porn.
Okay.
Not straight porn, just pure porn. Are you going to go snooping?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a computer use.
Oh, I'm not good at that. I don't know if I even have that. I have a 0. Is that possible?
If you roll a 1,
Here we go, y'all. Can I roll a 1? I don't know. No. 77 out of 0.
You find tabs open of fanfic writing. She has a ton of documents of writing fanfics for various like games that she plays or like comics that she reads. And your first impression is that that's probably what Mara was talking about, is that when Mara warned you don't look at the laptop, it was probably because it was porn and fanfics just all the way down.
Yeah.
The filing system is like pretty sporadic. There's like saved pictures from like summer. You can see them like hanging out by the beach and swimming. You can see like the 3 of them happy. And going back further and further through the pictures, you actually see Liam with them.
I was just going to say, do I see Liam? You said 3 of them, so.
A few years ago, 4 of them, Liam joins them in reverse. And it seems that he stopped hanging out with them a couple years between now and then. And he looks happy and healthy and not disheveled the way that he is. He looks like a regular early 20s teens kid hanging out with his friends at the beach.
And that was only like 2 years ago?
Yep. You see like some pictures of them at like blurry pictures of them hanging out at various homes, just like a regular collection of young adults hanging out. You do find locked files that, despite your best efforts, you are unable to get into. And don't even really know the process that you would go about. If you had internet access, you could maybe Google it, but
Yeah.
considering there is no internet.
Yeah. Carl doesn't want to push it anyways. We'll bring back up the page that was there originally, try to keep it back, put it back to what it was before. And we'll put it back in the position that it was, plugged back in. But when I was looking through the images of the photos, did I see anything that was odd at all in the photos?
Give me a spot hidden. We'll just let this carry for both. Did you spot anything, and can you reposition the porn laptop in the right place?
Well, apparently not. 85 out of 70.
I mean, you could luck it or push it if you want.
I'll push it, but this could be bad.
All right. How do you go about pushing it?
I think Carl's like looking where they put it and trying to find the indent of where the impression of the bed was, or
All right. And then I would say for the spotting anything in particular, I would just say like staying up later would probably be a good one for pushing it.
Sure.
Hey!
23 out of 70, hard success. That was a good push.
It was a good push. in the collection of pictures, you find a picture at Tilly's of everybody just kind of hanging out. And it seems like a large crowd at Tilly's, just a really busy day. The 4 kids are sort of seated in a corner. And you can tell that Tilly probably took this picture based on their request. And as you cycle through this collection of like hanging out at Tilly's, you see another person who looks like Liam seated at a table. And he is very disheveled, probably in his 80s, based on just his like overall appearance, wrinkled, pale skin, marks all over his face. Hair is like thin and gray, and you can see that he sort of like wears a hat to try to cover it, one of those almost like messenger hats, but the fancy ones. And beyond his like ragged appearance, he is dressed relatively nicely. It almost seems like it's maybe like cooler parts of summer attire, kind of almost dressed like a smoking outfit, just like browns and teals and stuff like that. But you get the impression that this is Ben just hanging out at Tilly's.
All right.
And you are able to find the exact position that the laptop was sitting, even down to the indent. And you think to hit play on the video just before you close it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like rewind it a little bit and hit play and close it. Is that the first time I've seen Ben?
It depends. Would Marie and Andy have any pictures of Ben from university?
I would say probably not, considering the event. Dun dun dun.
Then yeah.
Unless Maggie feels differently about that with Andy.
No, I think that's fine.
Then yes, this was definitely the first time you saw him. You had out of character, you didn't even see the doctor's picture.
No, I think Carl, when they see that image and they like kind of like zoom in on it, is like, so that's Ben. What happened? And scrolls back out. I think closes the door to Riley's room once all that's solidified. And I think he's gonna try to get some sleep.
I'm checking the daylight in January.
Oh yeah, it's probably morning already, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think
winters. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's still dark when you go to sleep, but you're pushing almost 7 a.m. by the time you go.
I don't got anywhere to be tomorrow.
And you go to sleep. And Marie, Nate, Laura, Dr. Samuel, once all the conversations are had, beat and unable to carry your bodies anymore, all go to sleep as well. And we will end the second day of the modern era of this campaign.
Oh yeah, do you want to tell everybody when you're doing the math?
By the time of starting this episode, 30 hours have passed from the time Carl was driving into Edmonton to Marie being unconscious on the couch, not including the sort of the time fuckery that I was playing with y'all, where Carl was technically playing at 3 a.m. But as of the next time we're in 2023, we will realign everybody. Because it's also been several episodes since Carl has been a part of the main group.
I know, that's been weird. I kind of like it though, because we've kind of investigated in different ways. We'll talk more about it in the
Yeah.
after show, I'm sure.
But I will leave you at that. We're not going to end the episode on a scary cliffhanger. We're not going to jump back in time. We're just going to end with the four of you with your heads finally laying down, some of them more painful than others, ending this chaotic day, ready for whatever horrors await you tomorrow.
Yay. All right. Well, with that, we hope you all had a great time and you were not getting your head drilled. But thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, maybe check out some of the things, follow us in other places, send us some love. But first and foremost, we would like to thank again our sponsor, Roll20. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. You came in super handy with the hard and an extreme roll today to make it a little easier for us. We also want to thank our supporter today, Thunder Cabbage. Thank you so much. Let's get some roll love and chat for Thunder Cabbage. And if you would like to become a supporter like Thunder Cabbage, you can head on over to our Patreon where you can get access to all kinds of goodies. And if you're a legend tier above, you get access to a private GM'd game, as well as getting to support an episode. And all of the previous tiers, which include character sheets, behind-the-scenes goodies. There was a map that Kelly had shared, and there'll be updates to it. Now we've seen the police station, which is cool. We also have so many other things. We're going to do an after show after this, and if you want all the deets, you might want to check it out. We also have our Twitch here. If you're watching us live, or even if you're not, you can head on over to Twitch and subscribe, and that gets you access to VODs in advance as well as emotes. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us for freebies. Otherwise, it just goes to Jeff Bezos, so you decide what you want to do. You can also head on over to YouTube and become a YouTube member, which gets you access to some of those emotes as well. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or Patreon supporter, you can get access to our private Discord where I'm certain people are going to have some theories now that we are getting further along. And of course, there's lots of non-monetary ways to support us, like watching us live here, making clips. Thank you so much for making all the clips. We really, really appreciate it. And watching us on YouTube, subscribing, liking, commenting, and following us on Twitter or X or whatever, and Facebook, liking, sharing, resharing, and all of the things, commenting. Everything makes everyone be able to find our stories so we can keep telling more stories, which is really nice because we enjoy telling stories. But whenever these lovely people are not telling stories here, they're also doing other things, and I would love for them to get an opportunity to talk about those things. Today we're going to kick it off with our keeper, our game master. Kelly, where can people find you at when you are not traumatizing us with drilling holes? This is the first episode where I basically just had chills the entire time. Like, as you describe it, I'm like, oh.
You can find me Googling how to do burr holes. Apparently.
Yeah, I was like, are you Googling this? You're on a list now somewhere.
I'm sure this is a common thing. You can find me at Tabletop Titties. I am the storyteller for Titties by Night, our Vampire the Masquerade actual play set in Victorian London. It is spooky. I feel like last episode I equally traumatized everybody as much as I do on this show. So go check that out. You can also check out Drinking and Screaming, which is the podcast I do with my love, who I drilled a hole into the head of today, where we watch horror movies and review them with a queer and feminist lens, while also drinking a cocktail made specially for the movie. And if you want to find me on everything, Google Linktree the Mind Right. It'll work. I confirmed it. Yeah.
Perfection. And next up we have Play Kitty Play. Where can people find you at when you are not telling secrets about your friends to who a friend you think is not able to hear it?
Listen, that was an accident. I'm Katie Peters Plays. You can find me at Twitch at Katie Peters Plays. All my links are over there. If you go to katiepetersplays.tv, it takes you to my Twitch page, and you can find me lurking about the internet over there. We're doing Halloween is soonly wrapping up. It's when we're recording this and when it goes live, I'm trying to not mess with the timeline.
You already ruined the
we're-
timeline. Way to go. No, I'm just kidding.
I know I really did. I kind of just tripped over and kept going. I've been playing scary games all of the month of October, and we're going to dive into some other stuff once November hits. And yeah, I have 2 podcasts. Katie hasn't seen that, and Quantum Drive. And
November
I'm sure
has hit, you all. Just so
November
you know.
has hit. It's not.
It is
October
November
right
2nd.
But that's all I got. I'm gonna toss the hot potato somewhere else now.
Throwing the hot potato over to Jeremy. Where can people find you at when you are not trying your best to hold your friend's head open?
You can find me most of the time not doing that, and also not on a boat. I'm usually on the show 3 Black Halflings, which is a podcast about inclusivity, TTRPGs, nerddom. We do interviews, we do actual play. Most of the people in this show have also been on that show. So you can find that wherever pods are cast. You can also find me on the Quantum Reactor, which is a sci-fi movie review podcast that I co-host with my friend Andrew Coons. And you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/casualquest live, where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And on Mondays, I stream Baldur's Gate 3 in co-op with Shar and Kelly. Ha ha! Yeah, I think those are pretty much the places that you can find me right now. I'm probably forgetting something, but those are good for now. Take those and be happy.
Perfection.
I am.
And last but not least, we have Marie, played by Shar. Where can people find you when you know everything? I love how that came around full circle.
Oh, that was lucky. I'm at Charlene Bayer on all socials, and you can find me on Tabletop Titties, where I usually DM our D&D show, but actually currently I have slid into a player role for a few episodes. I also am on Titties by Night on Thursdays with Tabletop Titties as well, where I get to play Octavia Miller, the Tremere. And otherwise, on Mondays, I am at Casual Quest. Wait, I fucked it up. What is it, Jeremy? Say it one more time.
twitch.tv/casualquestlive.
I keep wanting to say play in there, but it's just Casual Quest
We're
Live.
newbies.
I don't
Jeremy.
know what I'm doing. And that's it for me.
All right. And I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places. I do lots of things on the internet, and that if you want to see them, just follow me. I also make games and video games for a living. That's like my main thing that I'm doing. So if you're wondering why I don't post a ton, it's because I'm like busy with work. But you can check it out at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. I'm making a game, y'all. It's exciting. We announced that we're going in Alpha 2 in 2024, which is really hype. So I hope if you are an MMO lover, or if you have never played an MMO before, you might give it a little trysies. And yeah. With that, we are going to go record an after show, and we will see you all next week for another episode. Stay safe. And don't get any holes in your head. And keep your innards inside you. Bye.
And have fun.